All right, so let's just settle into a nice, comfortable seated posture. And I'll just run through this quite quickly. Just try and align your body, go to the crown of the head, relax your scalp, and just allow your face to soften. Just allow everything to soften. Just notice the breath as you inhale and exhale. Being aware of sounds in your environment, just allowing the sounds to be there and trying not to follow with the mind. And just be aware of what's going on in your mind this evening. Trying to put some space in between those thoughts. And just notice the thoughts and allow them to arise and abide. Just try not to follow them. Like following a story, I mean. Just try and be objective about what you see. And then think of our friends, our enemies, our strangers, and just remembering that these relationships are interchangeable and they're all the same as you and me, and that they don't want to suffer, they want to be happy, and they all have this extraordinary capacity for a Buddha mind. So we think there is no negativity that can't be purified. And this purification process is basically a psychological one. So we create negativity with our mind, so equally we can change it by creating positivity instead. So that kind of, in a way, as I posted the video of people cleaning up, rather than just continuing the cycle of burning and drama. Because to me, it just feels kind of positive. So it's kind of, we can keep our mind on that track, rather than kind of melting down into some kind of whatever else. If we can use the energy of maybe a little bit of drama or trauma or concern or worry in a more positive and creative way, we'll end up being a lot happier and feeling a lot stronger. So we'll think, before we continue, we'll just benefit for all these people of our life, by all sentient beings, and for all those people in Nepal, some of whom are feeling really embarrassed and traumatized by what happened. Others who lost their lives. So we start with this power of regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all of our past lives. And think of specific actions of both your body and your speech, and then in general regret all. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma. And we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions. And so, having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. So we know from our present suffering, we don't want any more. So it makes sense to remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So we think like this: I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows, because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. And then think again, I'm sick of this suffering. And then, well, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to refuge, and we imagine we're relying on the Buddha, Vajrasattva, who we see as a doctor, who has his medicine that we can cure ourselves with us. So we're not looking for forgiveness. So we imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. You can also imagine This is the mind of your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit, and he's made of this beautiful, radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. He has a beautiful, radiant face, and his eyes are kind of very peaceful and very accepting and so happy to see you. And his arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom, and the right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And when they're crossed like that, it represents the union of the two, and this symbolizes enlightenment, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So then we have a little bit on compassion. In order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings, so the very beings we have harmed, and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So think particularly of people you've harmed recently and in the past, and then in general. Any being we may have harmed since beginningless time. And then remember those who have harmed you and have compassion for them, because the harm they've caused you is going to result in suffering for them in the future. And then we come to the power of remedy, and this is the actual medicine, the practice, using, light visualization and mantra. We start with the body, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart, and it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely, and it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid, and this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mebiyatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa, Sitokaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anarakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa, Sitokaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. And be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified. And imagine it's not possible to do anything other than benefit others now with your body. And next is the purification of our speech, and Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and it arcs around and enters your crown quite forcefully and fills your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of the, top parts of the body, all the negativity of your speech. And you imagine all the, the false speech, all the lying, useless speech, and, speaking harshly towards people, gossiping, talking about people behind their backs. All of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mebiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hom Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasidi mempiyata sawa kama sita me, sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hom pe. Vajrasattva samayam manupalaya, vajrasattva dina patita, Jida meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasidi mempiyata sawa kama sita me, sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hom pe. Vajrasattva samayam manupalaya, vajrasattva dina patita, Jida meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasidi mempiyata sawa kama sita me, sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hom pe. Vajrasattva samayam manupalaya, vajrasattva dina patita, Jida meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasidi mempiyata sawa kama sita me, sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hom pe. Vajrasattva samayam manupalaya, vajrasattva dina patita, Jida meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasidi mempiyata sawa kama sita me, sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hom pe. Vajrasattva samayam manupalaya, vajrasattva dina patita, Jida meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasidi mempiyata sawa kama sita me, sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything other than benefit others now with your speech, including yourself. And then we come to the purification of our mind. And Vajrasattva now very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So just as instantaneously as flicking a switch on in a room, dark room, light comes. So as the light from Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart chakra, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, all your attachment, neediness, bitterness, grudges, jealousy, anxiety, depression, all of this instantly dispelled, not one atom left as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva samayam manupalaya, vajrasattva dina patita, jida meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasidi mebiyata sawa kama sita me, sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hom pe. Vajrasattva samayam manupalaya, vajrasattva dina patita, Jida meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasidi mebiyata sawa kama sita me, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Pe Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are completely purified. And think, now there's no space in your heart for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. And next is the purification of even the imprints of negativity of our body, speech, and mind. And this time imagine Vajrasattva sends light and nectar. So start imagining the nectar flows down and purifies all the negativity of the body, and the nectar flows up, purifying the negativity of the speech, and then the light comes and just blasts all of your delusions. And this is happening simultaneously, all at the same time, all at the same time. And this way eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your consciousness. Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta me boa sabasidi me biyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajrama me mutta vajra bawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe Vajra sattva samaya manupalaya vajra sattva dina patita jita me boa situkaya me boa sipokaya me boa Anurakta me boa sabasidi me biyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan Sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. So now feel you're completely purified. There's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. And now the power of resolve. And this is the fourth and the final step in the purification process. And it's really crucial because this is where you have to make a decision, and nothing's going to happen unless you do. So you just decide. First of all, rejoice in your efforts for coming along this evening, and then just, decide that you want to refrain from harming, and you're going to make a plan. The plan starts with whatever it is you're working on right now. Just that's the plan. Keep it simple. And then imagine Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wants to merge with your mind and melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown, and think, my teacher's body, speech, and mind, and Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same. So you imagine, as Rinpoche used to recommend, meditate on emptiness. In emptiness, there is no I, the creative negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma. And there is no negative karma created. So whatever level you understand emptiness, place your mind there for a little while. We can think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. And you can also think the way things appear to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy we've created doing this practice to all living beings, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. Let's just do chanting the names of Manjushri. Well done, you guys. With youthful form unique unto worlds, the elder senior, father of all beings, adorned with 32 auspicious marks, most beautiful, most handsome in all worlds, the teacher teaching mundane good and knowledge, the teacher to all beings, most confident, the world's most trusted guide, protector, savior, the refuge unsurpassed, the guardian, with rich enjoyments filling all of space, the knowledge ocean of omniscient beings, while smashing through the shell of ignorance and breaking through the cage of cyclic life. Okay, everyone, let's have a strong wish for His Holiness the Dalai Lama to live long, for the swift return of our precious Lama Zopa Rinpoche, and for all of your individual teachers, and for just making strong prayers for Nepal, for everything just to calm down so they don't lose another trekking season. Okay, everybody. Thank you so much for hosting. Lots of love, everyone. And I will see you tomorrow morning.